Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back again with another review of Maîtresse d'un homme marié. Marodi has finally decided to bless us with the 8th episode of Maîtresse d'un homme marié, and today we're going to dissect this long episode that was not really saying anything. First of all, we start off with Tairu bringing Dalanda a glass of water, and we don't actually get to know his answer to her question as to whether or not he is still with Djalika. Instead, Tairu is basically gaslighting Dalanda and telling her that she has to calm down, that she's always on his case about where he's at, who he's with, what he's doing, who's in his car, etc., etc. And he's just making it less about the question, or her validating why she has having these kinds of questions, but he's making it more about, yeah, and you don't trust me, as if he is trustworthy to start with. Also, he actually says to Dalanda that yes, at one point we had a problem, however now we don't have a problem anymore, and you just need to trust me. And Dalanda is like, trust you how? After all that has happened, also you should not forget that my family does not even like you. We had this whole Djalika situation, and on top of that, Regina made me think that you and her were still together. I need you to reassure me. And then Tairu says this. I spent my whole life reassuring you. What do you want more? And Dalanda is like, well, who is living in this house? What do you need this house for? And then Tairu is like, yeah, well, your house, I was always reminded of the fact that your house was not my house, and I didn't feel at home, and this is my house. I bought it. It is mine. And then he is telling Dalanda to stop worrying, because worrying is not good for her health, nor for the baby. And then he is telling her that he has a proposition for her and that she should spend the night, because the last time Dalanda kidnapped Tairu, and now it is Tairu's turn to kidnap Dalanda, knowing well that Djalika is not coming back. I don't know. I think it's just a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. The next scene is a couple of policemen just, deliberating a plan of action, and they're talking about that they have to surprise the suspects, and that the suspects have been living in this village. However, nobody in the village knows, and that they need to be careful, that they cannot use any weapons because there are civilians also involved. Then there's a scene with Djalika, Amina, and Mommy. And Mommy's just talking to Djalika, and she's just trying to get the truth out of Djalika, because until now, Djalika has not even told her that she indeed married Tairu, but that Tairu is still married to Dalanda. And Mommy is just telling Djalika, like, okay, Djalika, so just tell me the truth. However, Djalika is still making excuses, and Mommy asks her straight up, aren't you tired of lying? I know that Tairu hasn't divorced Dalanda, and that Dalanda doesn't know. However, you should know that whenever Dalanda will find out, it will not end up good for you or Tairu. Djalika wants to interrupt and ask Mommy to let her explain. However, Mommy does not give her any moment to explain anything. So she just continues. It's your choice. It's your life. However, you should know that you're always welcome in this house. At this point, you should know that what you want for yourself, but also what you want for for your children. And she talks about how Amina has already suffered enough in her life and that she should not get any more suffering, and that she is at an age that she will start to understand things, so that she should be extra careful. Then Djalika tells mommy that she hasn't chosen not to tell mommy. It's just that the situation didn't allow her to, and that she was afraid of her reaction as well. And then afterwards she also explains that she knew Tairu was married, however he convinced her and showed her that he loves her and all the beautiful things, and that she actually found herself in that situation where she was either married to the man that she loves and loves her too, or not, and that she chose to marry him. But however, the situation made it so that she had to lie. She also emphasizes that it is so hard for her to explain how it exactly happened. So for her, it is really hard in this scene to explain exactly how, what, who, and how everything came about. However, mommy is still, you know, emphasizing the fact that she does not recognize Djalika anymore. And she also brings up the point with her mom, because Djalika's mom called mommy to talk about the situation, and she told mommy that it was Djalika herself who moved out of the house, who took her own stuff and took her kids and left the house. So mommy brings that up as well, and she's just trying to show Djalika that the Djalika that she knew before is not the Djalika that she has in front of her. It's a lot of repetition because the same old question comes again. All this heartache, all this trouble, is he worth it? And I think that we will hear this a lot of times in the upcoming episodes. At the end of the scene, mommy tells Djalika that she can definitely stay, however she cannot stay forever, and that she should solve her problem. And we end that scene with Amina telling her mom that she does not want to go to that uncle, but that she wants to go to her dad's house, which is Biram. And I don't even remember the last time I saw Biram and Amina in the same scene. Then there's a short scene with Salif, and he buys a newspaper and he can read from the newspaper that Sheikh Yang is going to jail, and he is so happy about it. Then there is this scene with Biram and Mansoura, and Mansoura is bringing the news of the newspaper that got Salif so happy, and she's actually saying that, you know what, karma does work and he will get his karma. And she lets Biram read the newspaper, but Biram is also very confused and shocked, because his first reaction is, how can Lala do this? And he's really shocked about what is going to happen to his brother, and he tells Mansoura to get out of the way so that he can pass and warn Sheikh. And Mansoura stops him because Mansoura has other plans, and she's trying to manipulate him into Sheikh going to prison as a good thing, because she wants him to take over Sheikh's place at the company. And what you can see from Biram is that he does not like that idea at all. At one point he's even saying that, you know what, Mansoura, you should not meddle in other people's business. I've told you several times, and you've tried to tell me this so many times, but I always told you that you should mind your own business, and you don't want to listen. But it's okay, but I'm going to tell you again, mind your own business. And he's also saying that he does not want to be a traitor. He is not going to do this to Sheikh, and that they are a family. However, Mansoura is just pushing the point that, you know what, yes, you are family. That means that you have the last name Yang, which means that you can also run this company. However, Biram does not like that idea at all. And at the end of that scene, Mansoura is saying it again because she gave him two choices. Like, it's either you go down with the family name or you take over his place and you can save the family business. I want you to take his place and manage this company. And you can see that Anita, she heard it and she's actually really shocked. Then there's a scene with Cher and Noura, and they are swinging. Well, actually, Noura is swinging and Cher is also sitting on a swing. And Noura is asking her dad, like, when are you coming back? We miss you. And Cher is saying it again, like, no, I've been busy at work, but if I will do my best to spend more time with you and Bebe Makodu. And Noura says something that I think mommy meant to point out to Djalika that Amina will be big enough to understand certain things. Because what Noura says to Cher is, I saw what you did to mom's hand, and how would you feel if someone would do that to my hand? And I think that the question also shocks Cher a little bit because he's actually really quiet. And he says to Noura that, Noura, you know I'm not a mean or a bad person, but I made a mistake and I want you to know that you and Makodu are my world. Like, everything I go through that is bad, I would go through it for you and Makodu. Then Noura says that she wishes for her mom, dad, little brother and her to be one family again. And Cher is saying that he will do his best and that she shouldn't worry. And I actually had a bit of anxiety because I thought that the police would come there and arrest him in front of his daughter. But thankfully they did not. Then we go back to the village and there's a scene where you see one of the police officers in one of the previous scenes that has his normal clothes on and he's asking Mustafa the way. And as Mustafa is, you know, pointing the way and removing himself or like continuing his way, other men are approaching him and he starts running. And at one point he's caught and he is being put in the car. And then there are some women who are calling, screaming. Then you see Rocky and they arrest Rocky as well. Then there's a scene where you see that Djalika and Mommy are there and then Tairu comes in. And Mommy confronts Tairu immediately because she's like, what did you say again the last time we saw each other? And then she doesn't even let him talk and answer, but she's just pointing out Djalika and Tairu and she's like, both of you, I hope you guys know well what you are doing because what you are doing is not normal. And then Djalika is asking her like, whose side are you on? And Mommy's like sick and tired of that question because she's like, whose side? It's not about sides. There are no sides. She has to open up her eyes that this marriage has no end. Like, it doesn't go to a beautiful destination. It's just the train that is ever going. She's saying that she is starting to get to know Dalanda and that Dalanda is an amazing woman. However, she knows, and only God knows when Dalanda will know, but only God knows as well what will happen the day she knows, and that they need to be careful. So it's more just a warning. And then Tairu has the nerve to ask Mommy like, oh, you know her state? You cannot tell her. You don't plan on telling her, right? And before Mommy can answer, the bell rings and it's Dalanda. And you actually see that Tairu is running away to hide. and Dalanda's like talking to mommy as a friend because they are friends, and she's actually telling mommy that, you know what, so much has happened and I have so much to tell you, and I just felt like talking to you. And then they walk into the living room, and there is Djalika. The moment Dalanda sees Djalika, she's like, oh, I understand now, let me leave. But Djalika says the same thing, that she was about to leave, but then mommy is like, no, I think that you both need to talk to each other. I know you both, you're both smart, beautiful, strong, intelligent, and why would you let a guy come between you? Then she's like, Djalika, if something doesn't work out, you shouldn't force it, and you should just move on. Dalanda, if you don't trust your guy, you need to stop the relationship and leave with dignity. I think both of you need to talk and sort things out. And then she leaves. Then we switch to a scene between Hamid and Mansoura, and Hamid is just so frustrated with Mansoura because of what she did with the newspaper and basically forcing Biram to take over Cher's place. And Mansoura is not happy with the tone of Hamid, and she tells him that. And then they talk a bit more about what needs to be happening, and the frustrations that Hamid has is that Mansoura wasn't subtle when she approached Biram. She was really aggressive in her manipulation and steering him in the way that she wants. And I suppose that Anita actually already told Hamid, and that she found out that way, because at one point Mansoura talks about she needs to be eliminated, and Hamid is telling her that, you know what, we may be criminals, but we are not assassins. Nobody is going to be eliminated. Then Mansoura asks him about his problems, like, how is it going on your part? And he's telling her that he's frustrated because they cannot get pregnant. She really wants a baby. However, he knows that it's her mom that is pressuring her, but that they have to go to the hospital to do some tests. I think that Mansoura is okay with him doing the tests, but it seems like Hamid actually wants the baby. So Mansoura reminds him of their rule that, you know what, no love, no feelings and everything. And Hamid actually tells Mansoura that he wants to give her a baby as a goodbye present. Mansoura's like, no love, you can play whatever you want, but no love and no baby. And to stab him a little more, she adds that Biram takes really good care of her at the office. Then it's the scene we've all been waiting for, because it's Dalanda and Djalika. And it's just, Dalanda is just telling Djalika that it has been a long time since they've seen each other. Djalika tries to congratulate Dalanda about her pregnancy, but Dalanda is not allowing her, and she's just asking the question like, are you still seeing my husband? And that's the scene that we saw in the trailer, and she's repeating the question. She's like, okay, I'll make my question even more clear. Did my husband marry you? And to all our biggest surprise, Djalika actually says, no, we don't see each other anymore. And of course it was with a hint of mommy, because she was like dropping all the glasses and everything. And I think that she just did not want Djalika to say it in a way of her hurt, because as you could see on Djalika's face, she was really petty. And however, she decided to say that they don't see each other anymore, and that was a big surprise. Dalanda even tells her that, you know what, you shouldn't be scared to tell me. You can tell me the truth. I won't do anything to you. And still she's saying that, no, I know that you won't do anything, but we don't see each other anymore. Because I think that Dalanda is trying to hurt Djalika a little bit, because she told Djalika after that she said that they don't see each other anymore, she said to Djalika that, you know what, I would never understand why a woman like you would accept such a thing. That if he really loved you, he would have taken responsibility of you and acknowledged you legally. And I think that that was just a stab, just to see if she would actually say the truth or change her answer. As Djalika is telling Dalanda that she has noticed that Dalanda thinks she's better than Djalika. So in response, what Djalika adds is that whenever Dalanda is looking in the mirror, she should be conscious that what she's seeing is just an illusion. So I think that what Djalika is trying to say to Dalanda is that, you know what, even if you are telling me that if he really would have loved me, he would have married me legally, that whenever you go home with your little perfect family, you should know that it's all an illusion. However, the last thing that Dalanda says is that, you know what, I have to be honest with you. If he would have lied, if I would have found out that he lied, I would be very much hurt, but I am afraid that I would reduce him to nothing, because judicially this would be very complicated for all of us. And that's when she says goodbye to mommy and leaves. And then Tairu comes back and he's saying to Djalika that, you know, I'm not sure what to say. It is an embarrassing situation. So he's basically thanking her for not spilling the beans. Djalika tells him that, you know what, please don't thank me because I did not do this for you. First of all, she is pregnant. She is at a state where it can be very traumatic for her if I would have told her the truth. I think that Djalika was really shocked to see Dalanda, because what she said is, I saw her in front of me and she was just as strong as fragile, and I just couldn't tell her. And it hurt me. I could not just do that to her. And then Tairu is starting his speech, because what he's saying is that, you know what, and yes, I am just a simple and weak man, and that does not make me any less. I didn't choose to fall in love with you. It just happened. And you made me alive again, and you showed me things that I haven't seen in my life, and you made me feel things that I never felt in my life. The conclusion of his speech is just that he loves both Dalanda and Djalika. How he presents it on a silver platter is that, you know what, Dalanda was always there for me. She is the one that made me a father. She is the one that gave me 2 amazing girls. She has been through a lot with me. And that Djalika is the person that he loves because she showed him a new kind of love and a new kind of life, but also that she as a person was really ready to die. However, she actually did not, and she was so strong. And that is basically the conclusion of what he is saying. However, Djalika does not understand how a man can love 2 women, and she's even asking him that, you know what, how can you love me and her at the same time? Djalika's response to Tairu's words and the fact that he loves them both and wants them both is that, you know what, this whole situation, you are telling me that you do not recognize yourself. However, I have the same thing because I cannot recognize myself either. And what I'm asking myself is that this whole situation, all these lies, the basis of our relationship is so fragile and also based off of lies. So it's not even fundamentally strong. So is it worth it? So that was the end of that episode. I think the episode was a little bit too much about Djalika, Dalanda, and Mommy. I just want to have some other action. Like, is Sheikh gonna be arrested? How about Raki and Mustafa? We haven't seen Lala in a while. Is she okay? I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If I forgot something in this review, I will put it in the comments. If you want clarification on certain scenes, you can always comment as well. See you guys on Friday.